Hi guys, welcome to Lisa Loves. Today I am going to be doing a Texas Chainsaw Massacre tag. And we did have a tag a while back by Sean Ershin called the Leatherface tag. This one is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre tag, different questions, and this one was created by Movie Freak. This is someone I've subscribed to this is someone I've subscribed to yesterday. He's brand new on YouTube, so let's show a bit of support and get behind him, do this tag and try and get him some more subscribers. And this is a subject I love all day long, so here we go. Let's get kicked off with number one. I have to stop doing this. I slouch so badly, so let me try and sit up. Oh, see that? That's going to be my next little tattoo. I'm getting this done in a week's time. Just a little caricature and it's going in there. I've got one here and one here, so it's going in there. And I'm dreading it because that bit's dead pinchy. Right, anyway, that was a little deviation. So, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre tag, I'm slouching again. Number one, do you consider Texas Chainsaw Massacre a slasher film? Yes, I do. A slasher surely is categorised as a crazed person going about killing people, which that is, so yes. Number two, rank all Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies best to worst. Right, I've got a confession to make. I have not seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D. There's a couple of movies in the middle of this franchise. Next Generation and the beginning. And let's not even talk about Leatherface. I was so disillusioned by this. I eventually says, right, to hell with that. I refuse to go to the cinema and watch one of these movies. They're so bad. Leatherface, we've got different Netflix in the UK to the US, so Leatherface recently popped up on the UK Netflix, so I watched that a couple of weeks ago. Wish I hadn't bothered. So that's why I haven't seen the 3D one, because I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it. If it pops up on Netflix, okay, fair enough, I'll watch it. Maybe I should give it a chance, who knows. But I've just heard universally such bad things about it that there's nothing about me that wants to give it a chance. So anyway, leaving out Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D, which I haven't seen, I have ranked, obviously the same as everyone else, Texas Chainsaw Massacre the original 1974 at number one, the second one at number two. Now I feel a bit odd about this second one. I love it, but if it had been a movie in its own right and the original Texas Chainsaw hadn't been released, I think people would have a lot more love for it than they do. I think because the original was such a gritty, scary, freaky, just really disturbing movie, and they followed that up with something really light-hearted and funny. It was kind of a bit odd. I think a lot of die-hard horror fans were expecting something of the same, expecting the same sort of scary. They didn't expect the comedy, so I would have actually preferred if they'd brought something out a lot more darker as part two, and then maybe brought part two out a bit further down the line, if that makes any sense. Once they had properly established the franchise as being kick-ass, like really dark and gritty and freaky, you know what I mean. But anyway, besides, I've put it at number two anyway. Then I've put the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, which I believe was a 2003, I think. Then I've put Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Then, now these two can be switched. Next Generation and the beginning. Don't really care what way around they are, I didn't like either of them. And last, Leatherface. Oh my god, really, that's awful. Leatherface is to Texas Chainsaw Massacre what Jeepers Creepers 3 is to Jeepers Creepers. In saying that, I didn't like the Jeepers Creepers franchise anyway, so it's maybe not the best example. Number three, I'm slouching again. Do you consider the 2003, I was right, remake a good one? Yes, I enjoyed the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. Nothing in the franchise has even got a modicum of close to that original, because I love that movie so much. I cannot stress to you how much I love the original. So it's nowhere near quality of that, but I did enjoy it. I thought, as for kids that come along and haven't seen the original, I do think it's a quality, it's a nice little movie. Number four, what is your favourite Leatherface mask? I'm really torn between the first one, number 1 and 2 in this. I love Tom Savini. I just think there's no one better at what he does than him. So I lean towards 2, but the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie I just have so much love for. If I had to choose, if you forced me to choose, it's really tight, but number 1. 5. If you were on a road trip travelling through Texas, would you pick up the hitchhiker? Hell no! I don't know what accent that was. No. I have never picked up a hitchhiker, neither would I pick up a hitchhiker. As a woman, obviously, you'd be too nervous. I will admit, if I was driving home at night and I saw a drunk female on her own, in the middle of nowhere, I would be pretty tempted to give her a lift for fear of what might happen if you didn't. But then you get people that pretend that's the case in order to get other people to jump in your car. I don't know. The sort of like heart part of me would say that's a girl on her own walking home late at night, give her a lift. And the other side of me would say, no, something crappy will happen, Lisa, because you're so naive. So, but the hitchhiker, no. Neither him nor Rutger Hauer, no. Imagine picking up that hitchhiker. Brilliant film. The Hitcher. Isn't that what it was called? Number 6. Who would win in a chainsaw duel, Leatherface or Ash? I have to give this to Leatherface. As has already been said, Ash is more lithe, he's probably fitter, and he's cool as hell. But Leatherface is, even though he's lumbering and slow, I would imagine he's stronger, and he is the master of the chainsaw. He just is. So I'm giving it to Leatherface. Number 8. Leatherface is a hulking giant with the mentality of a child. Do you think he would be different if he was brought up in a different family? As everyone else has said, yes, I do. It's the classic nature versus nurture, isn't it? I think obviously he would always have issues, as people have said before. He is a bit slower in thinking, and he does have some learning difficulties, but I think due to the nature of those difficulties he's much more easily influenced than most of us. I think anything that he would have been subjected to as a child and what he would have grown up seeing as normal would be just what he would take as given. It would be how he is. So if he was brought up in a nice family, I think he would automatically adopt those traits. So to answer it, yes, I do feel he would have been different. And we do see that in the franchise where he does actually feel pity and he does spare, I can't remember the girl's name. You know who I mean. He does spare her life when she begs for her life. He doesn't kill her. So yeah, there is something even in that, even with the background he has. I think personally of the family he is the least evil. 9. And finally, to some people Texas Chainsaw Massacre isn't considered as influential to the slasher genre as Halloween or Friday the 13th. Do you think it should be recognised more, or is it fine where it is? I can see my unsubscribe button being hit quite a few times here. I prefer, what way will I put this? I prefer the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and even the second one, far and above Halloween or Friday the 13th. I enjoy Halloween and Friday the 13th. I enjoy the success of them. I think the reason they have been more successful is there have been more quality sequels. I think there are more standalone strong movies in those genres, in those franchises, sorry. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is just an incredible film and blows both Halloween, all of them, and Friday the 13th out of the water as far as I'm concerned, and Nightmare on Elm Street, and any of those that you want to put in there. Texas Chainsaw Massacre to me in the slasher genre is one of the best. It can't be beaten for, I just love it. But the sequels aren't that good. Some of the sequels are okay, are not bad, but in comparison to that original, they don't get close. So, I don't know. I would say it's fine where it is, because I think anyone in the horror community, I've never heard anyone say they don't like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original. So I think it does get cult status. It does get a lot of talking about, a lot of admiration. Whereas those other two franchises that were mentioned have got more quality movies as a whole in the franchise. So even though I always will prefer Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I think it's fine where it is. I don't think it needs any more attention, whatever the word is. Actually, I've just remembered I must have left a question out, because one of them was about a copy. Where is it? What have I done with it? Right, one of the questions is, and I haven't got it written down here, I'm sure I remember writing it on this page. Blah blah blah. Who would win? What? Number 7. I left out number 7. What versions of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre do you have? Well, this will be very, very quickly answered. I have one. Anybody that knows me will know that I do not buy movies anymore. This is just, it's apparently a special edition, Tobe Hooper's original, uncut Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So it's got a little booklety thing in there with some information, story of Ed Gein. Yeah, so it's a nice enough little copy. It's not a Blu-ray. I only own one Blu-ray, which is Martyrs, because I've never had a Blu-ray player. I recently got last year got a PS4, so I could watch it on that. But I don't have room for loads of movies. I used to have, because I used to manage a Blockbuster, I used to have a collection of movies second to none. It was honestly mammoth. But I found I was buying movies, and because I like to watch everything new that comes out, I'm buying things and watching them once or twice and that's it. And they're just sat there. And I'm spending all this money for these films that are just sat there doing nothing. So when the little one came along, Isaac, I'd prefer to put my money into different things. And I know a lot of you guys that collect obviously would never put that above your kids, but we're not that financially well off. A lot of people don't like to admit that. I don't care. To have a lot of spare money to buy. If I had loads of money, God yeah, I'd have a big house and I'd have a massive movie collection, but it's not really a priority for me as things are at the moment. So I stream most things I watch. I do have a certain amount of DVDs, but I don't tend to buy new ones unless it's something I am in love with. So yeah, or get as a present. So yeah, that's it. That is all the questions on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre tag. Thanks to Movie Freak for tagging me and for creating the tag for us. Sean and Movie Freak between them have probably tagged everyone that I would have tagged. The only people I can remember not hearing tagged, I could be wrong, if I've double tagged you I apologise. Last Venom 76, I don't think I heard your name there. Rusting Willpower, I don't remember hearing your name there. I'm sure Sean has tagged Jen's reviews from the grave, but if she hasn't, I'm tagging them. That'll do me, because I'm sure Sean always tags most people. So yeah, I'll leave it there. Apologies if I've double tagged. And that was my Texas Chainsaw Massacre tag. Over and out from Lisa Lives.